All right, so today we are diving into some really heavy stuff.
Yeah.
We've got this excerpt, right? And it focuses on this widow's account
Yeah.
of a massacre that happened back in November of 2020, November 18th and 19th.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all tied into what people are calling the Museveni regime of blood.
Right, right.
So, like, how bad is this? What can you tell us about this whole situation?
Well, I think what really hits you when you read this source is just, I mean, it's raw.
Yeah.
The widow is speaking at a commemoration event.
Right.
And the excerpt, it picks up on just the emotion in her voice.
Yeah.
And she's not just talking about her pain, right? It's like she's hinting at something much bigger.
And you say hinting at something bigger, but the source uses some pretty strong language.
Absolutely.
Crimes against humanity.
Right.
That's a really loaded phrase. So what does that actually mean, like, in this context?
Yeah, yeah. Crimes against humanity, it's not just some exaggeration, right?
No.
It's a very specific legal term, and it has, like, deep historical and legal roots.
Okay.
So we're talking about things like acts of violence, widespread, systematic, targeted at civilians.
Yeah.
And, I mean, think about it, atrocities like the Holocaust,
Right.
the Rwandan genocide.
Oh, wow.
These are the kind of events that we're talking about.
So this widow's testimony, it's not just about her personal tragedy.
Oh.
It could be evidence of something way bigger, way worse.
Exactly.
What makes her account so powerful? Like,
Yeah.
what are the details that stand out?
I think it's just how real it is, She's not shying away from what happened.
Yep.
The fear, the chaos, the just complete loss of that day.
Yeah.
And there's this one part that's especially chilling. She talks about seeing her neighbors, her friends, even children being brutalized.
Oh, my God.
It's a stark reminder of what violence really means for people,
And it's described in such a way that you can't just ignore it.
Yeah, exactly.
So bringing it back to this accusation, these crimes against humanity, what are, like, the implications of using that term?
Well, I mean, it takes this from a local event and puts it on the world stage, right?
Yeah.
It could trigger investigations from groups like the International Criminal Court,
Right.
maybe even trials for the people responsible.
Okay.
But it's a long road, and there's a lot of politics involved.
So we're looking at this one story, this widow's story, as, like, a small piece of a much bigger problem.
Yeah.
Her pain, her words. It's like a window into this whole regime and these alleged atrocities. Yeah. What does all of this mean for her, for the other victims,
Yeah.
for the pursuit of justice in general?
Well, her story is both, incredibly personal, but it also has huge significance.
Yeah.
She represents the suffering of so many other people whose voices might never be heard.
It's true.
And by speaking out, she could help spark more investigation, maybe even lead to some accountability. But it also shows just how difficult it is to get justice in these situations.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, gathering evidence, navigating international law, overcoming all the political obstacles.
Yeah.
It's a tough path.
It really is. I mean, her bravery is undeniable.
Oh, absolutely.
This whole deep dive, it really makes you think about the impact of these events.
Yeah.
It's not just about one woman,
Right.
It's about fighting for justice.
Mm-hmm.
It's about holding people accountable.
Yeah.
It's about the lasting effects of these horrific events on individuals,
Right.
on communities, on the whole world.
It's true.
Wow.
Yeah, it brings up some really tough questions.
Yeah.
How do we support survivors?
Right.
Like this widow carrying so much trauma and loss.
Mm-hmm.
How do we make sure the people responsible are held accountable?
Yeah.
And how do we as a global community stop these things from happening again?
It's a lot to think about.
It is.
These are questions that need our attention. They need our reflection.
Yeah.
They need our action.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you
Yeah, of course.
taking this deep dive with me today.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's some heavy stuff,
Yeah,
but it's important stuff.
it is.
And
Yeah.
we'll see you on the next deep dive.
All right. Sounds good.